How good does that look? Sticky glaze on the outer of a perfectly smoked ham. I'm Shuey from Z Grills Australia, and in this video I'm going to show you how to glaze this ham using a glaze that is sure to keep everyone happy. A little hint, it has Fireball whiskey in it. How good does a smoked and glazed ham look sitting on the table during the holiday season? But before we get too excited, we need to do a little bit of prep by removing the skin. Using a sharp knife, we just need to slice around the hock, and then you should be able to get your fingers underneath the skin. And just peel it back now, and you should find it'll easily just slip off. Now be careful when removing the skin. We want to keep as much fat on the ham as possible. It's now time to score the ham. Using a sharp knife, we're just going to make slits in one angle, about 20 mil apart from each other. And then change the angle and go from the opposite direction. Again, keeping the slits about 20 mil apart, and we're creating a diamond pattern across the fat. To add some great flavour, we're just going to stick whole cloves in every one of these diamond shapes. Once it's all covered in cloves, all we have to do is pop it on a wire rack. The wire rack is going to make moving the ham around a lot easier. Today we're going to be using the Z Grills 700 pellet smoker to smoke at temps of 135 degrees Celsius. First up, we just want to make sure the hopper's full of pellets. Next up, we just want to open the lid, then just turn it on and set it to the smoke setting. You'll see a lot of smoke come out of the smoker. Don't worry, that's meant to happen. So once the smoke's cleared, we can close the lid and turn the smoker's temp to the desired temp that you want of 135 degrees Celsius. We just now need to wait for it to get to temp. I'd say this is a perfect time for us to stay well hydrated. Cheers. This would be a perfect time to subscribe to the channel. And while you're there, hit that bell button. That bell button is going to allow you to be notified every time we upload new content. The smoke is at temp so we can get the ham in. I'll be inserting an internal temp probe as well, as we are taking the internal temp of this ham to 60 degrees Celsius, but we are going to start glazing it once it hits 54 degrees Celsius. Although the ham is already cooked, we're taking it out of the fridge, which is a cool environment, and we're going to have it at a low temp for hours. And this is where bacteria can build up, hence why we need to take it to a safe eating temp of 60 degrees Celsius. Today I'm smoking with an indirect heat of 135 degrees Celsius, and most hams take anywhere between 3 to 4 hours to reach a food safe temp of 60 degrees Celsius. That's more than enough time to sneak in some Christmas cheer. Cheers.
Cheers.
Making a glaze for a ham is pretty simple. We need sugar for caramelization and some flavors. So into a pan we're going to add some orange juice, some orange marmalade, some maple syrup, some Dijon mustard, some dried rosemary, some brown sugar, and some holiday flavour of some cinnamon and nutmeg. Now just stir this over a low heat until the sugar and the marmalade have dissolved. Usually takes a few minutes. And then we're just going to increase the heat a little bit, and we're going to let it simmer for about 15 minutes so it thickens up. Once it's thickened up, we're just going to reduce the heat, and we can now add our Fireball whiskey. We're just going to let that cook off the alcohol for a couple of minutes, and then just strain it through a sieve. Now you don't have to strain it, but I feel it's a lot better if you do, because that way you don't have little bits of marmalade and rosemary that get stuck in your teeth. The ham's internal temp has reached 54 degrees Celsius, so it's time to glaze it. So we're just going to take it out of the smoker and put it on a tray while we glaze it, just to make it easier for ourselves. And the reason why we wait until the very end to glaze it is because of the high sugar content in the glaze. If we were cooking that for 3 to 4 hours, this would be burnt. Now we just have to glaze it and make sure we get everywhere with this glaze. Oh, look at that. How good does that look? And don't forget this end, you want plenty of glaze all over it. Now we can pop it straight back into the smoker, and we're just going to insert our temp probe back into the ham. And we're just going to close the lid, and we're going to keep basting it every 15 minutes until it hits 60 degrees Celsius internally. Glazing number 2, glazing number 3, glazing number 4. Glazing number 5. Now I know it's a bit of work taking it out of the smoker every 15 minutes to re-glaze it, but trust me, it's well worth it. The ham is ready, so we can finally get it out of the smoker. How good does that look? And now that we've finished using the smoker, all we got to do is turn it off and it'll cool down by itself. All right, before we start slicing this up, we need to remove the cloves. They've done their job now and no one wants to eat a whole one. There's nothing left to do apart from slice it up. Oh, look at that. How good does that look? I'm sure you all want that at the center of your table this holidays. If this doesn't impress your family and friends this holiday season, I don't know what will. As always, cheers for watching.